Hello everyone, good morning. It's the witching hour in Alabama. I've been up for maybe 1 hour. I was just so much on my mind, It's always just like sitting on me so heavy. There's no resolution here if he's unwilling to reconcile. It's getting worse every day. It's my cat. I hear that. She's got neurological problems. She don't get around so good. But here's my other cat. Little baby boy. Come here. Come here. Sweet baby. So what I'm saying is that I have a lot to discuss in this video. If you look in the comments, the pinned comment, you'll see a Google Drive doc file for my novel. It's called Building a Coven, as in a coven of witches. Though I grow to resent that title because Quentin gave it to me. So maybe I'll change it. But Building a Coven, a clairvoyant formula for time travel, right? It's pretty nice. It's got a nice iambic pentameter structure, which is nice. Anyway, that book, which emerged from the middle of December through the middle of January, and then I spent the rest of this month editing it. Really, that's not true, is it? It came really fast, is my point. It came in like 5 weeks to where I had like a finished novel, essentially. And so, of course, that occurs one time. And I discussed that in the appendix after the novel. But I contend, right, that the script, the movie Critic, right, that was shot under the, I would say, illegal misnomer of the continuing adventures of Cliff Booth is nothing but a sick monument to Quentin's unhealthy psychological, spiritual, psychic possession of all of the women in the bondage scenes. And that, in fact, he and Brad Pitt both actually forcibly penetrated all of those women when they were bound, gagged, and blinded, completely immobile, helpless, can't even scream, can't even plead with their eyes. Right? And so my novel, right, represents the opposite of that, right? As far as the spiritual mystery, like Quentin exerts a disgusting psychic pressure over all of us to keep us, right, under his thumb, right? And so this is why I'm doing this campaign, because no one deserves to live under these conditions. No one. No. Right? Not me. Definitely not. Not for writing a letter from the heart. Not for being a sincere, honest, wise man, loving man. Right? And definitely not those girls. Right? They're desperate. They've been under his thumb for years now. Right? And indeed, I contend that entire fucking industry knows exactly what time it is. Right? And they're all completely spineless. And so my point is that he deserves to go away, right? But my point is that that my novel represents a guy, right, with 2 women that becomes 3 women, right? That does all of the same things. He does all of the same things that Quentin does with these women, right? Except, right, it's not what he does now. Right? That Quentin enticed all of these women to the dark side, right, with the spiritual mystery. Because, right, boom, right, it's the highest revelation of all, right? But once he had them, right, once he was in their minds, right, he exerted a disgusting level of control that he still holds over all of them. And in that way, right, why do you think it took him so long to get married? He's been famous a long time, hasn't he? Sofia Coppola, what you got to say about it? He tie you up? Right? Right? My point is that everyone in America, everyone in Los Angeles, they all know he's into a bunch of fucked up shit. Right? And every time any woman, right, spent any real amount of time with him, they said, nope, no, nah, not doing that. So he just kept making his movies and kept violating them one after another for a couple months. Right? Right? Then he met Daniella Pick in Glorious Bastards. Right? Boom. Right? Planted that seed. And then when he saw her again, 5 years later, 6 years later, however long, snatched her. Right? Anyway. I had a guy commenting yesterday on the video that I made yesterday, saying that I was schizophrenic, and of course it's a lazy answer intellectually, but I don't fault him. I feel like he did mean well, but he put all of these stipulations. So why don't you use your clairvoyance to predict who's going to win the Super Bowl? Oh, why hasn't any of these girls come forward? And he revealed his ignorance in such a palpable way. And so why don't we take a second to talk about that, right? Clairvoyance doesn't work that way, right? You don't get to close your eyes, right? I could close my eyes and say, oh, what are the winning lottery numbers? And I can use my imagination will conjure numbers, right? Letters of the Hebrew alphabet, which have a number correlated to them. You can do that. Letters of the Greek alphabet. Right, that's boom, easy. You can do that. Say, oh, these are the 5 numbers. There they are. Right? Doesn't mean you won't get it. Right? But 99.9% of the time, it's just your imagination. That's all it is. That's all it is. Right? The highest levels of clairvoyant resonance is raw logic. Right? I make these allegations because there is no other way to interpret what has been occurring. End of discussion. Now, right, as far as the girls, again, he's revealed his ignorance, right? He doesn't understand what's occurring, right? That this is a psychiatric, evil psychological condition to be subjected to. They are not healthy in their minds, right? They are afraid to fucking do anything. Because at any moment, Quentin could put the same torture that he put on me on anyone, right? Anyone can do this. This is not... he's abusing wisdom. That's what's occurring right now. Right? And it's as sick as it gets. Right? And so I'm calling that whole industry out. Right? And so someone, I would guess Quentin says, oh, he's just a creep. He's just trying to take these girls. Right? To which I say, right? Put yourselves on polygraphs. Right? This whole campaign stops as soon as you all just show me what time it is. Right? Oh, you're better than me. Is that okay, right? Hook up to this machine and tell me what you did at your house on April 18th, 2025. Right? Right? Let those girls get on a machine. Tell me what occurred on the set of The Continuing Adventures of Cliff Booth. Right? And then you're good. Right? Then you're better than me. Right? Then I don't deserve the girls. Easy. My point is that they're both felons. Right? They've committed sick felonies. Right? Solicitation of a bioweapon is a federal felony. That's it. End of discussion. Life without the possibility of parole. Right? That's the first one. What you think 10 counts of first degree rape get you? Well, it'd be 5 counts of conspiracy, 5 counts of rape. Right? They ain't getting out. That's it. That's it. That's it. Right, let's just say they get 25 years for all of them to run concurrent. Right? That makes both of them almost 90 years old. I'll take it. Right? My point is that the entire industry, right, heard those girls pleading, right? And they let Quentin be a creep and rape all of them on camera. And now, as long as we persist in this way, right, they're going to keep letting him be sadistic and evil. And he is so evil, he feels justified in screening those vicious rapes to the entire world. right? And so I notified every intimacy coordinator in town. I'm fucking blasting them every day, every single day, right? This is my charge, right? This is my life, right? This is beyond them on a fundamental level. Like I see it for what it is now. I do see it for what it is, right? And in that way, I should have been stronger, of course. But I think they like that I fucking burned him, right? I think they're fucking hot for me because I show he's a fucking loser, right? Who treats people unnecessarily bad. He's a wicked, awful man, only interested in control. He did not write that script to end his filmography on a high note, intellectually. He wrote that script to glorify his sadistic control of those women, right? And when I came into their lives, he did everything he could to destroy me, up to and including, right? 5 counts of conspiracy, 5 counts of first-degree rape. On his set. Bound, gagged, blinded. Sick, right? You could argue that I am, perhaps, that we all are. That this is our baseline, right? That those girls have been like this for a long time. Daniella, God bless her, you know. I need to hold her, you know. Goddamn. Have lived in a kind of schizophrenic fog for a long time, right? Since once upon a time, so that's 8 years, right? It's 9 years, 10 years. Right? That this is, right, it's a sickness, right? This is not, right? Let's talk about Enora. Why don't we for a second? I haven't watched it. It's a movie about a hooker, whatever, you know. I don't like watching movies anymore because of this thing, you know. What do you think was happening when Mikey Madison took her clothes off? What do you think happens anytime any of those women take their clothes off? Right? He's in their minds. That's like this is the game. That's the game. Psychic possession, right? And if you read the novel, right? If you actually read it, right? Like the last scene is one thing, but if you read the whole thing, it's a masterclass. It's like it's the finest novel on clairvoyance ever written. Right? Then you'll understand what I'm talking about. You'll understand how to do it. Right? Does that mean you'll be good at it? Like me and Quentin? Nah, I don't know. I don't know about that. Perhaps there are people who are naturals. Right? I can remember when I burned him at Tribeca. Right? These are the clear distinctions between the two of us. Right? That I felt really bad. I did feel bad. Because I was feeling the girls. That's like what it actually was. But I wrote him and I said, you know, I'm sorry, man. I get it. Like, I get it. It's your movie. That's what you needed. I want to give you what you want. You know, like I'll do the movie for free. You have my scene for free, and I'm gonna build you a planter, right? The rhombic triicontahedron, right? Steel welded polyhedron. It was gonna be like this big badass thing that hangs on a chain, you know, like a real industrial kind of heavy sculpture. And of course, he told everyone arts and crafts is for fags and, you know, like all these things. But the point that I was driving at that he's too fucking dumb to realize, right, is that I right, exercise my clairvoyance, right, in a healthy way, right, that he exerts dominion as a psychic over the world, right, that's like he meditates and finds people and fucking uses telepathy to communicate with them or torture them with psychokinesis, et cetera, all these things, you know, right? Whereas I, right, construct geometry. Like I love the compass and the straight edge, you know. Like no, I don't really have time for the flower of life. I know that's like what he was thinking, you know, but like that's like hardcore math. That's like what I'm into. But I construct these forms. Oh, I actually have an example. Here's a little example. What was that? Star tetrahedron, Merkaba, right? Anyway. I construct these forms, right? And then I project them into my mind's eye in meditation, right? And so what's occurring there, right? What's actually occurring, right? That Quentin has never considered because he doesn't actually respect this thing, is that when he pushes his consciousness out into other people, right? He's diffusing it, right? And thereby, right, diminishing his potency, right? Whereas when I, right, put all of this and 1,000 more in my mind, right, I crystallize and fortify my psyche. That's like that there, like there it is. There's the two schools. Right? And so when he turned his back on me, right, I was blasting all of that out through my eyes. And I said, oh, this isn't about writing. This is about something else. Right? So, am I saying that I deserve to have 7 fucking fine-ass women? Way more than him, yes. Right? Somebody say something to the contrary. Right? Now, they don't have to be mine. They ain't gotta be mine. Right? Get on a polygraph. Right? My point is that he manipulated them into committing a federal crime. That's the point. And when I fucking put my eyes on them and I say bend the knee, they submit immediately, 100%. Right? Unless they want to go to prison. Right? I contend, right, that Quentin has had a psychotic break. That Quentin is a deranged lunatic, completely delusional now. Right? Because he's lost control psychologically and spiritually of these girls. Right? That they saw a towering beacon of light. Right? And when I burned him at Tribeca, they said, wow, an actor who's a real man. Yes, he's perfect. Right? Because they're disgusted with the way they're treated by him. Right? And so now he's overextended himself to such a disgusting degree that he has no power as a psychic unless he's being evil. Right? And so, I can only imagine. I do genuinely suspect that Quentin has been a complete fucking degenerate to all of these women the entire time. And it upsets me a lot, thinking about how much I endured. Beating them where it can't be seen. Right? And indeed, I contend, he's perhaps holding them hostage, at least his wife, and raping them, right? Because, like, if you recall, I don't guess YouTube would necessarily know this, but I've been bred in the industry for maybe 6 days now, 7 days. And I told all of them, I said, I take all of these women under my dominion, right? They all give me babies, right? Or we go on a polygraph, right? That's the deal. That's the arrangement. There is no other deal, right? And so I contend that he's raping all these women and trying to put babies in them. And indeed, he's so sick that he will keep them locked up for 10 months until they all have his baby. Right? Not appreciating it. I don't care about that. I'll raise your kids, dude. Go to prison. It's time to sit down and be calm. Right? You don't want me around? Right? It's time to go away. Right? And so that's my contention, right? That he has created this disgusting condition in all of our minds, like most of all in the two of us. Right? And if he is unwilling to reconcile, then that, I contend, is in fact a level of mental illness that makes him unfit to be in society. If he has a psychiatric evaluation, I contend that scientist will in fact likely also agree that he needs to be involuntarily committed. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Right? He ain't got to be happy about it. Right? None of us are happy about it because he could have been cool any step of the way. Right? Like, make your fucked up scenes. Like, beat it in the corner, parallax to the camera. Like, that's fine. Right? So, anyway, I suppose I'm done for now. But, right, clairvoyance doesn't work like that. It's not how, like, you don't get to guess the lottery unless you do, right? But it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. Right? When I see certain things in my mind's eye, right? You talk to anyone who's like a remote viewer, like Joe McMoneagle, all these guys, right? They'll say something similar. You know, it's like when I see certain things, when I hear certain things in my mind's eye, right? I have come to associate them with certain likely actions that are occurring across the states, you know, in Los Angeles, at his house, Mulholland Drive. But I can't confirm that, right? And so this again, this is another testament to him engendering a mental illness. Remote viewing is only objectively verifiable if it's objectively verifiable. right? That like I have someone here, right? Like I'm a teacher. I'm like showing someone, right? And I have 3 pictures, right? And I say, okay, you show me what's in this envelope, right? And then they close their eyes. Maybe I hypnotize them, right, with a watch, whatever. I put them in a more suggestible, calm, relaxed state. And they say, oh, I think it's the Eiffel Tower. And then you open the envelope and you say, wow, look at that. It's the Eiffel Tower, Right? That's objectively verifiable, right? That Quentin and everyone involved with this thing, right, have played that game with me this entire time, right, since April of 2024. Having no objective, verifiable data to use as control groups for their efforts to observe me. That it's just them closing their eyes, seeing what they can see, right? And so that's right. That's nothing if it's not a hardcore mental illness, right? Oh, such a vivid imagination, right? Like you say that too, But what I'm saying is that they're burying their psyche in things that can't be verified, right? That likely a lot of it is legitimate clairvoyance, but on the other hand, likely a lot of it is, right, imagination, right? And so, since there's no way to distinguish between the two, right? This is my point, right? That we all exist in this kind of haze where we don't know where our thoughts end and the others begin, right? And that's how all these girls with Quentin, like, this is what he gets off on, right? He's a creep, right? He's a creep who beats it in the other room, right? Now he beats all those women, 100%, 100%. He's doing awful things to them. He's doing awful things, I'm sure of it, right? Where are they, right? What does Daniella Pick have to say about it? Why won't anyone let me look them in the eye? Oh, they're famous? Kiss my fucking ass. I think their lives are in danger. Right? So, see what's good in your life. Know that life is not an accident. The source of all clairvoyant resonance is the source of all life, which is a divine abstract intellectual quality, often referred to as God, misconstrued as something within creation. Every time you're still, you're a part of that divine intellectual certainty that allows all of life to manifest out of itself and return once more to itself. So, do something good for someone else, right? Uplift your soul to God. Let me know what you think.